we are born, there is already a whole world out there. In my culture, as in many others, as soon as parents know they will have a kid, they choose names for the case of being a girl and names for the case of being a boy. Once they know the sex of the kid, they make sure all things for the girl are pink and all things for the boy are blue. More even, there is specific toys for boys as there is specific toys for girls. I mean, in most of the cases, the parents do assume that their kids will be cisgenders, heterosexuals, that the girl will like play with dolls and other girly things, and the boys, they will have all their fun with toy cars and other boy things. The parents do assume that the kids will grow up with the same beliefs they are being told. Based on this, the kids grow up in a normative bubble. When I was 5 years old, I asked my mom for a toy car. I had always wanted to have a toy car. But my mom told me, no, there is a boy thing. When I was 6, I remember my mom told me something along the lines of, when you have a husband. At the point of my life, I thought I was a rotten human being. I was a broken human being. I made this conclusion since I was not the same as others around me. I cried, and I cried in school, and the teacher would ask me, "Are you sick?" But I would never tell her how I felt. I never told my parents how I felt. Why? Because I told it was not normal. I told I was not normal. And if they knew, they would also cry. At such a young age, I didn't feel like I'm a girl. However, I didn't feel like I'm a boy either. My parents call me Dodger. I hate a female name. I wore a girl clothes. And I hate a female genitalia. Why then I was not a girl? Because I just didn't feel like one. Gender, it's not about genitalia. Sex, it's about genitalia. Gender is about how you feel yourself. And I look at the girls, and then I look at me, and I didn't feel like one. I look at the boys, and then I look at me, and I didn't feel like one. It was simple like that. I grow with a great nothing inside my chest. I grow with fear, a fear of thinking about who I was, who I am. A fear which made me try and be what my society and my parents told I should be. And all this because I didn't want to hurt them. And I was thinking, of course I will hurt them, because they love me. And they think I need to be like this, because this is the normal. So I love them. I didn't want to tell them because I don't want to hurt them. When I was 17, did I meet for the first time the first non-binary person. She participated in a debate in my old school. But back then I didn't know she was non-binary person because her gender expression was female. Gender expression, it's how people to present themselves to the world. And this can have relation with gender identity or not. And her pronouns was female as well. There is no rule for neutral pronouns for non-binary people. Can be no neutral or can be she or he. It depends the preference of each person. I feel bad when people use she or her to refer to me, so I ask them for use they or them. But the best option is always ask the person which pronoun is better for them, with which pronoun they feel better. It's really the best option. When I meet her, after some days, I watch a video when she started saying, I'm not a man, I'm not a woman. And I could not tell you what the simple fact of knowing about the existence of another person who wasn't in these two genders has done to me. I just felt like I was normal. Yeah, and then few time after, I told my friends and others I was non-binary transgender person. And I finally escaped the bubble. You know, most of the time the plans work. The kids becomes heterosexual, just as the parents hoped they would. But what's happening if it doesn't? What's happening if the girl who showed like playing with dolls prefer cars? What is the consequence of it? Have you ever been afraid to tell your parents how you also felt? Have you ever been afraid to tell something important about yourself to someone you love because it might change your relationship? This happened. Just when I find this person, I start feeling there's nothing wrong with me. I wasn't alone. And this is what's happening when people find someone who can represent the person. The name of this is representativeness. And doesn't matter what kind of identity we're talking about, if it's gender, sexual orientation, religion, ethnicity. Representativeness matters. And it not matters just for the person who already have own identity. It must matter for the person, for the people are still trying to figure out their identities. I'm not saying don't have representativeness in the world. I'm saying the Bible have just some people's representativeness. I mean, in the books, in TV, and in every single thing there's out, even before the child born, exists just few people's representativeness. And maybe you can't know how important it's for a child, for children, seeing themselves in the toys or the princess, superhero on TV. So I will show you a few examples. This is one example of ethnicity representativeness. And this is one example of disabilities representativeness. And I think how can you guys see the children are happy, very happy. This is already happening. But now I will show for you some examples about transgender representativeness. This book, I'm Jess. Jess is a transgender from the United States, and she made this book. And he said, Jess always knew she was different from other kids. She had a girl brown and a boy body. This is her history. I don't mind being different. Different is special. I think what matters most is what a person is like inside. And inside, I'm happy. I'm having fun. I'm proud. I'm Jess. She meeting with some transgender kids. This is other books for transgenders, about transgenders' histories and homosexual as well. And these, it's some examples, not necessarily about transgender people, but how some children are happy because they can use wherever they want and have whatever toy they want. From the moment where we need to show the world for someone, and this happening especially with children, we have a great responsibility for shaping their personalities, their identities. And when we have these, we have two options. We can show just one view, one world perspective, which can make the person fit or not, or we can give the people multiple perspectives, and then they can find themselves. This is not about encouraging people stop telling stories about prince and princess. It's not about never give a girl dolls and other girly things. This is about you need to tell these stories, but you must need to tell others too. You can give a doll for a girl, but you can give a toy car for a boy. But why not let them choose? Because whenever you tell for them just one type of history with just one type of couple, whenever you say for the kids they can play just with one kind of toy, what you are doing, it's neutralizing things. There is not nature. And most important, you are saying everything and anything outside of this narrative, it's abnormal. We are all potential products of representativeness. And now I want you think, which kind of representativeness you want to put out there? If you want give a multiple word perspectives and then let the people find themselves. For them, finally, no one feel like fake by being what they are. Thank you.